about morality. And I've often said that, good and bad and all that nonsense does not matter. But, well, people, I'm planning to go a little deep into morality. And, trying to explain to you why it does not matter, from what point of view it does not matter, society and personal, being personally and even spiritually, what matters and what does not matter according to the NihilAnand philosophy. But before that, I would like to talk about something very exciting that's happened. It is This is a celebrity. We got our first celebrity endorsement from an Indian celebrity. Her name is Sushmita Sen, and she has two adopted daughters. And both, like, she has come on a Google ad, which is like a big thing nowadays, or a Google ad saying that in the search bar it says, how do you adopt children without getting married, like that she's sitting there, and the search bar it says that. So it's really cool that she's just come forward, and I've been trying to get to her for a long time. And it's really cool that she started this whole thing. I really hope it catches on. And second issue is, I would like to start really working on it, like with funds. Okay, so I'm going to start a Patreon page where I'm going to start working like this. All this NihilAnand and everything is all always going to be free. That's not even a question about it. But I want to start on working on the child-free movement properly, like funds to go and get Sushmita Sen, or to go and get some big actor and say and make statements like go and bloody adopt, or stay child-free, or don't get married, or whatever. So this is what I want to do. Let's see how it works. Let's see if people give to my Patreon page. I hope so. I'm going to start it, and we'll work on it. Okay, let's now 2 minutes. Let's go. What is morality? Morality. Let's see. Morality is what the idea is basically: don't kill people, don't hurt people. Okay, try not to do bad to others. Now, what is bad and good? First, let's look at what morality is. Morality is partially common sense, okay, and partially a survival tactic. Now, a lot of people will say, no, survival tactic and common sense are the same thing. No, it's not. It's not. Absolutely not. Survival tactic, okay, is more like to survive, like you're doing things to survive, to ensure that there is food, etc., etc. Common sense is to make your life easier. Okay, so now from social perspective, it is a survival tactic, because society, right, only exists because of morality. It's like a loop which is keeping the machines running, right? You don't have people killing each other, so society is stable. And from your point of view, it is common sense. In a certain situation, or in most situations, if you keep your morality, if you do not hurt someone else, right, and you just keep your calm, then it is going to be easier for you than if you get angry, hurt somebody, kill somebody, or do anything. So it's just something that makes sense to do, right? Because if you do hurt somebody, then somebody, they will come after you, or the police will come after you. Somebody is going to try and make your life hell if you make their life hell. So from society's point of view, it is simply a survival tactic. Society needs it to survive, morality. And you just need, it's common sense, right? Why should I hurt somebody when there's no need? So that is what we are trying to this. So the question is, why is it a good idea to be moral? Why is it a good idea to not kill somebody? Because if you kill someone, then their family will take revenge on you. Then your family will take revenge on them. And then it's going to be endless blood. Okay. So if for 51% of the people were not moral, okay, if they hurt each other, then we'd have a completely collapsed society. We wouldn't have a society to talk about, right? So that is why society insists on this. Now let's talk about it spiritually. Right? This makes sense. Now spiritually, let's talk about why they insist on morality, why religion says do not hurt someone, etc., etc. Partially, it is to maintain society, but on the other hand, it is to try and ensure that you don't forget about yourself. Okay, because if you get, if let's suppose you get angry, okay, and you do something bad, then as you go ahead, it becomes a habit of getting angry and doing something bad, getting angry and doing something bad. Let's assume that you're not caught. Okay, let's assume that no one stops you, and you keep doing it, keep doing it. You will become that. Okay, you will eventually become that, and you will forget yourself. And as I have said before, that sin is simply you forgetting yourself, forgetting the self, how the self works. So that is what's going to happen. That spiritually, they're trying to ensure that you don't forget yourself. Try not to have lust, or try not to have greed, or try not to, hurt somebody. Now, should we follow morality? That is the main question here, right? I suggest you follow your own morality. And own morality is what? See, morality is from general morality is from a social lens, but your morality must be from your lens. What makes sense to you at that point of time? Okay, because most people do not try and like, in the sense of, most people follow what is always moral, like what is generally accepted. Don't do this, don't do that, right? But sometimes you'll have to follow your own morality. Think about it. With different people, you have different kinds of morality. With different groups, you have different kinds of morality. I'm talking about micro morality here, like in the sense of, some people you'll rag, some people you won't, some people you'll be very friendly with, other people you'll hate them, right? So your morality is changing with different people. So then, why do you have to follow the general morality? Do what makes sense to you. Because see, morality is simply an idea, right? But if you do something, there are going to be consequences. If you do something bad, there are going to be more consequences than if you do something good. You have to be ready to take on the consequences. That's all, right? So I'll give you an example. Like, if someone is beating a woman, right? I will also go and beat him up. Why not? Okay. Now there may be consequences to that. It's not the moral thing to do. What would the moral thing to do be? Go to the police, right? I would go to the police, and then I would ask, I would tell them that this is an issue, or I would call the police, right? But in that moment, for me, that morality is right, because if he's beating her, then why can't I beat him, right? He should be able to fight with me also, right? And I am willing to take on all the consequences. If he goes and calls the police and says this guy beat me up, and I go to jail, suppose, I am willing to take up the consequences. Why is that? Because I have thought about it completely. So when you are talking about morality, you first think about your morality, what makes sense to you at that point of time, in that moment, okay? And use that morality consistently. Be consistent with your morality as far as possible. Why is that? Because then people will trust you accordingly. Then you can build contacts accordingly. Then you can get to know people accordingly, and you can build your own system. So if you have a consistent morality, more and more people will trust you. Like, even in the criminal world, there is a certain morality, right? Morality does not mean good or bad. It's just that I have stuck to these. I've stuck to my words. I've given you my word. I've stuck to my word, right? That is the morality. Whatever that word may be, I'm supplying you cocaine. It does not matter. But the point is, keeping your word is a kind of morality. So keep that morality and keep it consistent, because all of morality is just to keep it consistent. That is why society insists on morality, because it wants a certain kind of consistency, right? Now, one more issue. Do not make morality a part of your ego. You can easily do that. It's very, very easy to do that. Okay, like when you're when you believe you're a good person, a lot of good people have massive egos. Oh, I did so much good. I helped a poor person. I fed a person, and mostly middle class. They have this massive ego about it. Okay, like, oh, I did this, and I donated. What are you doing about it? I helped a prostitute get out. Why is that a part of your ego? Just do it if it gives you joy, right? When a lot of people make morality itself a part of your ego, and that itself is a sin. It is worse than being lustful. It is worse than being greedy, because you actually believe you're a good person, and you inflate your ego to such a level that one day somebody is going to deflate it. Okay, which is why I often call good people stupid. Okay, because people who believe they are good now, and they do most good things, like they are helping somebody all the time, eventually somebody's going to take advantage of them. They're not taking advantage of them. They're taking advantage of their ego, of being good, that I am a good person. Don't believe you're a good person. Don't be swept away by morality. That itself, it is a sin. Okay. Now, sin, as I said. Now, just remember one thing. Okay, morality is simply a tool. It is a tool, or an idea for that matter, and it's trying to keep consistency, predictability, and efficiency in society. What you have to do is realize that morality is an idea, right? And simply decide whether it's a good idea or a bad idea in that moment. When that moment presents itself, then you decide whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. How do you decide that? You look at the consequences. If I do this, what are the consequences? If I do this, what are the consequences? And you decide what makes sense to you, what gives you joy, what makes you want to do, what gives you the motivation to do that thing in that moment. That is all. I think that is pretty much everything that I can cover on morality. If you'll have more questions, I will take it. Okay, so that's the end of the topic. I'm going to start taking questions. Should prostitution be legal? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. See, prostitution is always going to be there. Okay, it is the oldest profession. So I don't understand what is the issue here. Like, if you make it legal, automatically you can have rules. When you have rules, you can have taxes. When there are taxes, then automatically there'll be people who will be. You automatically try and make it more stringent, right? The government can make it stringent and ensure that nobody is exploited. And the assumption with prostitution is that everyone everyone is forced into it, but that's stupid. So many people may just want to do it for easy money. Why not? I don't see any issue in that, right? If I was offered to be a gigolo in some way, and I was like somebody, you know, and somebody I trust and somebody I this, I would do it. Why not? For money. What is there? For the money and the pleasure. You can do it for these things. So if men can do it, I'm sure women can do it. I think most men would willingly be gigolos. So why not prostitutes? What is the issue here? Are friends important in our lives? Yes, it depends. It really depends on what you want. So, like, I'm very clear about what I want from each friend of mine, and I'm very loyal to them, and that's another whole thing. But I know how long I can hold a conversation with this friend or that friend. I know exactly what groups fill what gaps in my life. No, it's not really gaps. It's just that at that moment I want something, and then I go to them, and then we have these great interactions, great discussions. We have fun together. So there is no real objective, but I know what we end up with. I know what I get from each group and from each friend, or what I end up giving to them, or whatever. It's not a calculation as much as it's awareness. So friendship is really a question of what you want. In most of the times I'd rather not be with friends. Most of the times I'd rather just be alone. Like, since I was a child, I would rather have been alone all the time. Okay. Your communication skills are really great. It's really tough to talk without taking breaks. How do you develop your communication skills? Oh, so earlier, right, when I used to make videos, I was not very good at communicating. Like, I was good, but in the sense of I used to have breaks, and mainly because my brain used to work faster than my mouth, right? So I've thought 5 thoughts ahead, but I'm just saying what I'm thinking right now. Even now it's happening, but I have trained myself by talking and talking and talking. So you have to talk in the mirror. Okay, you have to talk. You have to make mistakes. You have to talk with people. Go and talk with people with good English skills. Okay, go talk with people who are better at talking than you. Consistently talk. Reading is very important. Writing is very important. Writing down your thoughts. Okay, and coming down to a crystallized point of thought. Like, I can think 1,000 thoughts right now. Also, I'm thinking so many thoughts on various tracks, but I'm crystallized about what I want. Why is that? Because I've trained my mind. I have written down things continuously, and I have come to the crux of every issue. So then what happens is it becomes a habit. Once it becomes a habit, then boom. Okay, then it's a question of just doing it easily. It may take a little while. It may take 6 months or a year. But if you have to work on it. For communication, you really have to work on it. And there is nothing better than practice. Practice, practice, practice. Speaking of morality, I'm convinced people will ensure suffering goes on. People will keep breeding. Is genocide justified in this context? Is genocide justified? Yes, that Matt. This is a deep question. See, genocide, right? The way it is has a lot of other effects on humanity, society, the environment, etc. So no, I don't agree with that genocide in itself. Whereas I am an ethicist, where I say if there was a button and everything could die painfully, right? Painlessly, sorry. If everything went painlessly, then I would do that. Then I don't think I'd consider that genocide. I just consider that, you know, ecocide or whatever. That is the end of pain. If something can end pain quickly, then I think it is justified. I'm definitely sure on this perspective. Do you believe in God? If yes, would you believe that the respective religious books would suggest as morally right? See, I don't. Firstly, God. The question of God, right? God is what? Basically, someone who created all this, right? But my question is, if you need a creator, then why? Who created God? Like, is there a God that created God? Then who created that God? That is the first question. And second, if you're saying God was always there, then why can't all this be already there? So, no, I do not believe in God. Do not believe in the sense of I don't know whether there is a God. Right? So I'm keeping it neutral. I'm keeping it neutral. I'm keeping my mind open to experience, open to new ideas. The moment you believe in something, right, automatically you are going to block yourself to other ideas. Like, if I believe that this my hand stops here, okay, I'm going to block myself to the idea that my hand can go through my head. Maybe it can in some other dimension. I don't know. So don't believe in anything. Just go through it. Go with your experience. Okay, and even in your experience, don't believe it. Just say I experienced it. So there's no. I do not believe in God. And religious books are morally right in the sense of they are trying to follow the social idea of things. Right? They're trying to organize their flock. They're trying to organize their society. So are they right? No, they are not right or wrong. They're just trying to keep their order in their area, in their country, in their, among their parish, basically. That's all. There's nothing right or wrong here. And if God exists, he's not moral. I'm sure of that. Because then, if either he's not moral or he's not powerful to stop that, or stop all the evil that's happening. Okay, so either he's enjoying the evil that is happening, or he doesn't have the strength to stop it. Either ways, why should I believe in God? Why should I admire God in any way? Once, when explaining antinatalism to my friend, he asked, "What if AI will make us all of us robots in the future? Then there will be no problems." Of course, there will be problems. There will always be problems. AI doesn't have problems. Things are not hacked. Okay, your phone is not hacked. Your emails are not hacked. Everything can be hacked. So when see, that is the nature of physics. Okay, it is always parasites. Something is eating the other. Something is banging into the other. Something is exploding. Something is coming back. Something is getting dark. Something is so all the time there is going to be this bullshit. So anywhere within these laws of physics, you make anything. You make AI, you make computer programs, you make computers. You can make things more efficient, but at the same time, there are going to be problems. Like there is always the increasing good means increasing evil. Always happens. Always happens. What is your mother tongue? I speak English at home, but it's many other, like it's Konkani and Marathi and Hindi and many other, like it's like I've spoken all these things at home. What are your weaknesses in life, if you don't mind? What are my weaknesses? Aha, my weaknesses. I put a status saying, what is that? True confidence puts your fears on your sleeve. Means you put your fears on your sleeve. That means you advertise your fears. And these are my fears. So what? So I don't think I have any serious fears except jellyfish. Jellyfish I'm really scared of. Fears. And what did you ask? Weaknesses, right? Weaknesses. No, I don't think I have any mental weaknesses as such, in the sense of I used to get angry, now I don't. I used to, like, I can get irritated pretty fast. I think that's a general weakness. But no, other than that, I don't think any serious weaknesses. Because I've been working on these things for years. Okay, so can something push me off my objective if I'm clear about it? Can something distract me from where I am? I don't think so. I don't know, because I may have to experience something new. But from what I know, right, I don't think I have any major weaknesses. So, do you suggest that we should follow our own beliefs that we develop through experiences? Yes, you should. Don't follow that also. Don't follow. See, even when you have an experience, do not develop a belief about the experience. Okay, when you make a belief, the moment you say, "Oh, I experienced God," suppose you experienced God, and then you go around telling people, I experienced God," it becomes a belief. Right? Don't believe that. Just say, "See, this is what happened." Okay, whether you believe it or not does not matter. Do not insist on others believing it. You yourself do not believe it. Just say, "Okay, I experienced it," and that is fine. And do not follow it. Okay, just if your heart beats for it, then go for it. Just go for it in that moment. If it gives you joy, go for it in that moment. Do not say, "I'm going to follow this no matter what, no matter how much pain, no matter how much suffering." That is all rubbish. Okay, after realizing that life is meaningless, I've lost interest in almost everything. Now I wonder how I'll be able to make money in the future. How you tackle this problem? Okay, so see, I don't tackle the problem really. It's more like this, right? I'm easily living life. I'm easily making money. I'm easily getting my stuff done. Okay, I'm enjoying life. The moment I stop enjoying it, the moment I don't easily make money, I will be out of here. I'll be out of here. The only problem is the assumption that we are supposed to continue living. That creates all the problem. I don't have that assumption. If it gets too hard, I'm out of here. I'm not going to even move an extra finger to try and survive. So you have to make that decision, really. You have to make that decision. For me, not believing that this life is meaningless, seeing that this life is meaningless, okay, it gives me the power, it gives me this energy. Okay, and this energy automatically makes me do things that help me make money or whatever. I saw many old people fearing death. So I'm also fearing that in my older age I will die alone. So what? So what if you die alone? Most people with children also die alone. So what is the issue here? Don't worry. See, most people are taught, what do people teach their children? Make money, right? Now that they teach their children make money, the child will obviously run after money. Okay, so then what is the issue here? Like, they are obviously not going to come to you when you are dying because they are after money, right? So don't worry about dying alone. We all die alone. Actually, we all die alone, whatever you say. Okay, and dying alone is a good thing in a way. I find it to be quite a spiritual thing, like, because you are just alone with your own thoughts, not distracted by family, not distracted by someone taking care of you. You just are enjoying what you are, appreciating your own life, okay, looking at life for what it is. And they say as you approach death, you look at life for what it is. So why not do that alone? I would love to do that alone. How do you suggest getting more experienced in life? I'm grown up, but I still feel immature. Whoa. I suggest travel. Okay. And earlier I was completely against travel because since I was a child, I was forced to travel a lot. Right. So I didn't like traveling. But go somewhere alone. Go live alone. Okay. In a new city. Not in the same city that you've been. Go live alone and you will go through a lot of experiences. See, if as a child, if you could not go to boarding school, I went to boarding school and that was quite amazing. Um, if you cannot go to boarding school, at least go somewhere and live alone. Okay, and work there, enjoy, talk with people, talk with someone new, start something new. Then you will realize what experience is. When you're making your own food, when you're, there are small problems, all that creates experience, builds experience. So that means we shouldn't believe in anything. Then what will help us morally right decisions on a daily basis? Morally right, like I said, what makes sense? You have to just look at what makes sense to you. What is your objective? You want to live life peacefully, right? You want to live life peacefully. So then live life peacefully. Understand that if you hurt someone, they will hurt you back. That's it. It's just common sense. You look at common sense and live your life with common sense. That's all this morality, beliefs, all this nonsense that God will punish me. What does God have to do with all this? It is the humans only will punish you if you live a stupid life, right? You will punish yourself if you live a stupid life. If you don't have money, you will starve. That's all. So what is this morality thing here? What will you do if you are God? End this and myself. I'll just obliterate, obliviate. My God. As an introvert, I once landed a selling job, which I left immediately after 3 days, but I wasted my 1 lakh on training for that. Is it okay that I'm a coward, or is a job really necessary? See, a job is only necessary to make money, right? Unless you really like your job, that's another thing. But it's only necessary to make money. So if you have money, if you're depending on your parents, great, nothing like that. It's not That's not being a coward. You're depending on your parents who got you into a world where you didn't want to come. So what's the big deal? So if you have the money, great. If you want to have a job for money, then do it. It's not about being a coward or not. Okay, I'd suggest just walking towards situations. Like if there's something you can't do, just go for it. Try and do it. Try and become. If you're an introvert, try and become an extrovert. Like I wasn't born like this. I was quite an introvert. Okay, earlier. Then I learned okay how to. But I still prefer being an introvert. That's a different thing. I prefer, but I become the situation. When there are people, I become the situation. I talk. I entertain them. I enjoy. Then I go home and I recharge my battery. So it's all a question of what you want. It's not about this is a coward, this is bad, this is good. You know, yeah. Why do people reproduce? Why? So many reasons. Uh, they want to take the family name forward. They're wondering who will take forward the money. They have social pressures, all that. Like I mean, you should just go through NihilAnand and see the number of reasons that I have mentioned. It's like tons of reasons. Basically, it's social pressure. Basically, it is social pressure. People are just like, they don't know what else to do. Okay, and there is a biology asking them to reproduce. Then there is a sociology asking them to reproduce. The social strata. And then, of course, then they are lethargic. They're like, okay, if I have a child, my life will become easier. So why not? It's mostly why not? And then, of course, they get screwed for the next 18 years of their lives. Yes, my family has money. Yes, Anil, if your family has money, live off the money. Enjoy your life. Do not waste your time with a job. Okay, do not waste the time trying to do something you don't like, don't love, whatever. Just chill. Okay, that's all I'll say. It's sickening how much our life is controlled by pieces of paper. It's pathetic. Yeah, that is true. But again, like I said, money itself is a tool. Okay, you must use the tool well. Use it to do whatever objective you want at that point of time. Being controlled is because most humans are basically at an animal level. Okay, so that's why they are controlled by those pieces of paper. You don't have to be. Once my parents, after listening to anti-natalism, told me, what if I didn't procreate? You, there would be there would be another couple who gave you birth. Yeah. So tell them na, that that is not your problem. That, like, you had me. That is your problem. That is your sin. Okay, that is your bad thing. If they had me, I would have given them the same amount of grief. Then why did you have me? Understand? So my parents have also used this argument, but I'm not sure I agree. uh, People breed because it's an unthinking habit and they're afraid to be independent. Yes, that is true. I agree with you, LK. It's an they absolutely don't think about anything. Oh, I wanted to make a video on this actually. How people avoid topics. It's not even funny. Like, I don't mind dumb people. Dumb people ask questions at least, but ignorant people, oh my god, you tell them something factual and then they just change the topic. Like, oh, well, when are you going to that restaurant, bro? I went to that restaurant, I put it on Facebook, I got so many likes. Like that kind of stupidity. Like, it's not even stupidity, it is just pure, absolute, abject ignorance, you know This does keep me sane, but so does killing keep psychopaths sane. Yeah, if killing, see, like I said, if killing keeps psychopaths sane, that is their problem. Okay, someday someone is going to stop them. Okay, if what exactly keeps you sane, Ryan? I really want to know though. So, but what is good according to you doesn't make that you are morally right. Okay, I got the question. He asks that something keeps me sane, but killing keeps psychopaths sane. So what is good according to you is not morally right. Like again I said, there is nothing morally right. A psychopath is doing his job. Okay, he's doing his job. You are doing your job. Okay, the police is doing its job. If they stop the psychopath, like if I find out that someone is a psychopath, I will either expose him to the police or go get into a fight with him. I try and stop him. That is just my job. That is what I feel like doing in that moment. Okay, whether he's not right or wrong, it is just that he's going to have consequences of his actions. The police are going to have consequences of their actions. I'm going to have consequences of my actions. You are going to have consequences of your actions. That's all. There's no morality here. Morality is simply an idea. Yes, the police will stop them. That is legality. But morality does not, even legality does not exist. Legality is backed by force, right? If you do bad things, the cops will come home and they'll beat the shit out of you and they'll take you to the police station and then they'll file a case on you and you will be inconvenienced. So law doesn't exist. It is just the force of the police that exists, the force of the government that exists. Okay, so look at what exists. How do you handle your relatives when they tease you that both your parents are advocates, but you are going nowhere in life? Oh, lovely, lovely. It's a good question. What if my parents agree that they will give me money for a lifetime? So how much money will be efficient? 20, 50 lakhs. Okay. So let me say, how do you handle? So let them say na. Let the relatives say whatever they want. Why do you care? Why do you live off your relatives, especially South Asians? Why do we care about our relatives so much? Let them say na. And if possible, try and develop some good answers to take them down. Like okay, my parents are rich, yours aren't. That's why you're working now. So something like that. There are so many things to say. I'm going to make a whole video on that. Now, the second part of the question is how much will be enough. If they can give you 1 crore, that will be good. Invest the thing properly. Okay, put some in gold, put some in shares, put some in etc. 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 And you can build yourself a portfolio and live off it. In my opinion, most money is going to be worthless in a while because the way things are going, right, the way we are spiraling downwards is going to create a massive issue. So, but if possible, 1 crore is a good amount. 1 crore would be about 200,000 US. Are infinite humans possible? What? No, I don't think they are. Thanks, bud. Makes sense. Love talking to you. Yes, thank you, Ryan. I love talking to you too. All right. Shall we end it? I'll take one or two more questions and I think I'm good. I hope the answer satisfied you, guys. It's clear that people don't have morality. It's like in 1950s, 271 out of 1,000 infants used to die, but that didn't stop them from producing an average 5 to 6 children. So can we ever bring change? Yeah. So that is the question. I believe that if you think about morality deep enough now, the conclusion of all morality is antinatalism. That I'm not going to have a child so that he's not put in the position where he has to choose between good or bad, where he has to choose between good things happening to him or bad things happening to him. That is where you end this whole morality argument with antinatalism. Right? So, why I consider parents the most immoral people? I don't believe in morality, but I consider them the most immoral people is because pain exists. Okay, and pain generally is a bad thing. Okay, as a society, we've agreed that pain is a bad thing and pleasure is a good thing. Right? So, the fact that they are putting someone in pain, they are actually affecting somebody else's life by their actions, makes them the most immoral people on in existence. Okay. So can we ever bring change? I think we can bring change. I think we can bring change. So as I said earlier, I'm going to like now that I've seen Sushmita Sen and all, like celebrities are coming to into this child-free movement concept and to adopt a child concept, etc. So I'm going to work on this and I'm going to start a Patreon page and make it something so that there is real change. The change has already come, right? 50% of all rich countries already don't have children, right? And they are importing people from in places like India and China because they don't have people. So that change has already come. It's just a question of accelerating it to the level before climate change hits us. So it's just so either we stop reproducing or nature ensures it. But if you can reproduce, you will reach a very high number. Yeah, I guess if there are enough resources, why not? You love you, man. You truly give me hope. Thank you. Thank you. How do you know that there is not infinite matter? There must be. I don't know. There must be infinite matter. You are only rational and person who thinks about children on YouTube, on the YouTube community. Love you, bro. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Yeah. Video karita. Okay. All right. And on that note, I think I'm going to end it. I guess I've answered most of your questions, and thank you for the questions. Thank you for showing up. It was lovely speaking to you guys, and I'll be every Wednesday at 9 p.m. I'm going to be here until further notice. Okay. So goodbye and thank you and bye.